Alright, here we are with Chapter 7, Crossing the Border. The border that is from Kaylin into Foray. Our heroes have just found out that Lord Lundgren is totally trying to steal their kick-ass magic sword, and they need help from Lord Marcus to stop him, because, you know, they're commoners. They can't exactly go murder a lord. Be bad. So here they are by the big old river that is the border. And they've reached the border without incident. Man, Elwood is feeling pretty good about this. He's like, we are safe forever. They're happy. And of course Nino pops in. You can see I put Lynn too far to the left here, so they're slightly on top of each other. It looks silly. Yeah. There are still some things in this hack that need more polish, but you know, always room for improvement. So this is basically just a little plot summary, and then some character development. You can't hear it, but the sad music is in the background. The one that always plays when Nino's sad in canon. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. But this is really sort of about, Lynn is a very emotionally controlled person who she likes other people, she's friendly, she helps them, but she kind of keeps them at a distance emotionally, I think. She doesn't talk about her real feelings. But, and you can see her doing that here in Nino. She's all like, nope, not sad, not troubled, I'm okay, no worries. But Nino won't put up with that. You know, she's like, I know you're not fine, open up to me. Nino is one of the few people who can get Lynn to actually open up and, like, talk about her feelings, so I think they have a good dynamic there. I find it cute, at least. But and Lynn is a good balance for Nino's impulsive cheerfulness, because she's actually a good strategist. So I really love the two of them as a good dynamic and an adorable pair. We're a team! Like, Nino is the embodiment of an adorable power of friendship thing going on. But yeah, so I like the two of them. Nino is one of several characters who has a massive crush on Lynn. Kind of an important aspect of this hack is enormous numbers of unrequited relationships that no one is particularly angsty about. Yeah, you can see that Hawk Company has shown up here. The party is like, well, we beat them last time, and we're even higher level now, but Raven is here to tell us that, no, they've leveled up. This is another country. You see the reference to Santa Riz there? I actually checked a Lyceum map to make sure the things were next to each other, that I was saying were next to each other. But anyway, yeah, a kind of a theme of this hack is loads of ludicrous unrequited love relationships going on. So, yeah, you'll see that I've given all of the sellable items to Heath. There is a good reason for that, which is that in order to get the Gaiden chapter, which obviously we want to get, 2 characters are going to appear here on turn 1, I think it is. Maybe turn 2, don't remember. And we need to recruit them with Elwood before turn 5. The easiest way to do that is to just have him get flown over by Heath, and then Heath will be nicely placed to do some shopping. This chapter is also interesting in that it has variable difficulty, and that if you beat it before about, I believe, turn 6, then you're just done. It's really quite easy. If you wait, reinforcements start spawning, and there's some wyverns up here, pegknights and axe fighters down here. You can get overwhelmed very quickly by the pegs. They're fragile, but they can do a lot of damage, and they're very mobile, so it's hard to hide your weak characters from them. We are going to be... The idea of this was that if you want to play a bit tougher in the later chapters, you don't have to get the reinforcements and level up more. If you'd prefer to have it a little easier, you can. Or if you just love to level grind, like me. I'm actually going to get the reinforcements first to show them off. You know, want to show all the content in the hack. And also so that the last chapter just is less murderous, because I don't want to have to play it 50 times. And you don't want to watch me do that. I'm not one of those LPers who's actually funny to watch. So, we're going to get started. Yeah, I think using the prep screen, I'm not doing it right somehow, and that's what's causing that bug. I don't know exactly why it does that, but I guess I'll just... Yay for Nino! Oh, she got some defense! That's rare! That's quite rare. Attack a stump. You know, doing what we do. Raven can finish off this guy. But yeah, so I was saying before, so a major theme of this hack is endless amounts of, oh, I'm concerned, I don't want to have Farina destroy the stump, because then that archer might be able to hurt her. That would be bad. So, I'll use the hand axe. And that way we can go across next turn. But yeah, major theme of this hack, endless unrequited relationships, but nobody really angsts about them. They're just kind of silly. So, in a theme of Lynn is either, I haven't quite decided, but either she's asexual or demisexual, and she's extremely oblivious to love, like, so oblivious. So, so she's just very unaware of the whole, you know, the fact that and people are just sort of inexplicably in love with her, and she doesn't even know, because I found it kind of funny. So we actually have 3 in the party so far. Oh, here's another one of these sets of characters with sort of opposite personalities. I must just love this, because I realized looking back at it that I've written like 3 of these already into the hack that are explicitly recruited together, and there's loads of other examples of this. I guess it's kind of fun to write characters whose personalities bounce off each other. The joke of these 2 is that they're actually highly competent Freyan knights, but they both have goofy personalities. Louise is sort of extremely sort of high energy and cheerful in sort of a silly way, and Carla is like a woman of very few words, and nobody can understand what she's trying to get across, except mostly Louise does. So she's like Carla's translator, I guess. She's blunt and to the point. You can see that she's quite devious here. What they're suggesting is the hint to recruit them is that they can't cross the border into Kaelin, right? You know, another lord's territory, and territory that they have bad relations with. Not a good idea. But if those mercenaries were threatening Freyan citizens, it would be their duty to help. Eliwood is a Freyan. The trick here is that there's other Freyans in the party, Priscilla for one, and Dart and Geitz technically are actually Freyans, although it's not really mentioned at any point. But they are. But since, you know, Eliwood and Lynn are the characters that you get a game over if they die, or you're supposed to. I did not actually get around to programming that in. Again, don't let anybody die. But my hope was that it would be obvious that he's the one to recruit them with, because he's, you know, the Lord and everything, and he's from Foray. But so, originally I was planning to have the guide, and you got to recruit them on turn 3. And you can do this, but only if you know they're going to be there. So it really requires you to basically just be psychic about it. So now it's honor before turn 5, which gives you a little more leeway. I just thought, you know, it should not be excruciatingly difficult to get the guide in. The 2 of them join your party regardless of whether you recruit them. There's a slightly different text in the ending cutscene if you don't recruit them, but it's a very minor difference. But yeah, you should recruit them though, so you can get the guidance. Because there's some. Gosh darn it, I forgot that. I guess I'll throw the vulner. I don't need that many. I can buy more later. I forgot that I had that many items for him. Ah, that was dumb of me. But so you can see that we're. Oh, very nice freeness, some skill. We're leaving this guy, just ignoring him. We want to make sure we don't kill all the enemies before turn 6, because then I can't show off all of the reinforcements. And that would be sad. But even though I may regret this later because the reinforcements are, shall we say, challenging. They are. Maybe they're not, and it's just for me. But yeah, so far in the party, talking more about, because what do I love to talk about more than relationships between fictional video characters in a video game? Oh, he finally got some speed. He is like the most speed-deprived thief. That's mostly his base that you're seeing there. May as well use the staff up now, I guess. I can buy a new one right up at the shop up north there. But yeah, so Kent, should be probably fairly obvious, has like a ridiculous massive crush on Lynn. Heath actually kind of does too, although he pretty much realizes it's hopeless. And Nino does too. So yes, there's a ridiculous number of characters who just, for some reason, they find Lynn inexplicably appealing to them. So we can recruit either Carla or Louise. They're separate conversations. I'm actually going to make a quick save state so that I can show you both. I personally find Louise a little funnier, but there are 2. And they recruit both characters at once. So the gist of it is that Eliwood is all like, gotta protect that village, and they pick up on the fact that he is a Forayan. And then, without even telling him anything about who they are, what's going on, they're pretty much like, okay, we're done here, we're joining the group. And Eliwood is just like, the hell just happened? So here's the Louise one, which I find funnier just because Louise's personality works really well for this. Because she's yet another character who calls Eliwood either cute or pretty, and it just irritates him to no end. He's like, knock it off! And Louise is all just like, simmer down, young man. See, you can't tell because characters in Fire Emblem tend to look really, really young, but Louise is actually quite a bit older than them. I think so. I don't know her official age, but she's married to Pent, and the rest of them are young, so... And Ken, at least, but she is supposed to be an adult, and they're like youngins. So, where should I send her? Up here is probably fine. The reinforcements are all going to come from down here, so we want to get our guys just sort of power through there and get them here so that our people aren't overwhelmed. And Heath is going to go down this way because we desperately need to do some shopping. Priscilla needs to buy a new heal staff. Heck, we'll buy 2. Why not? Why not? And the rest of us need to defeat these guys. So yeah, there are many ridiculous relationships in this story. Largely just because they're funny. Like everything else in the story, you know, I mean, it's all for laughs. It's a hack that is written for laughs. Arg, I feel like, actually, why don't I just have Farina? I think she has the con to do it. Yeah, just travel over here, because otherwise it's going to take Dart forever to get there, and it's going to irritate me. See, again, this is one of those things where you won't necessarily know to do it if you don't already know this reinforcements, but you would easily defeat, it's really easy to defeat all the enemies before turn 6. Like, it truly is. The only thing that can happen is sometimes if a pirate retreats to heal, sometimes if you injure them but don't destroy them, they'll come back to the fortress, and then they just kind of get stuck over there, and you can get into an irritating situation where you're like, come over here so I can defeat you, you cannot possibly defeat me, and you can't get to them, because your flyers both use lances. Maybe I should have given out an axe reaver instead of a sword reaver. That would have solved that problem. But I did not think of it. And of course we want to get right back on with the healing. She's only level 14, we need to promote her, my friends. Louise destroys that so people can get across. Heath, let's see what our time is. We're on turn 4. I'm probably going to stop the video before, I forgot to sell things, before we actually get to the reinforcements so that it doesn't get too long. Because they come for quite a few turns. You'll see that they really, it's quite a swarm, like swarm is a good description. And then I'll have him go over here. And Carla's going to visit this village. And the villages aren't very exciting. They pretty much just give you gifts. And then... there, it's going to continue on this way. Farina needs her new lance. She has a short spear, so I'm actually going to swap. See, Heath is maybe slightly better for the short spear, what with his high con. Maybe I'll just have Carla do the rest of the shopping. Why not? We're going to need at least 2 swords. It's probably a good idea. We need a spare hand axe. I'll just quickly sell her vulnerary just so I can pick up another item. Grab an iron bow. I think that should tide us over for the moment. There's also no text in these houses, you'll notice. The reason is pretty much that I put them in as decorations on the map because I thought it looked good, but then I couldn't think of anything to put in the text, really, because since the houses don't give you anything, I tried to make them more sort of interesting to read, like they have something to do with the backstory or, you know, something funny. But I ended up not thinking of anything for them, and the same for the house in Chapter 7. Most houses in the hack have text, but those don't, and so just don't visit them. I kept meaning to put it in. Yeah, reinforcements have now begun. You can see that quite a few spawn each turn. You really have to keep up with it. So I'm going to make a quick save state here so I can come back to this later and stop the video for now. And then we'll show off the reinforcements. They're really good because Louise and Carla join at level 4 each. Your other guys are around 7 or 8. And there's not that many chapters left. You know, it stops at chapter 10. So this is a good chance to level them up. Well, Louise more. This guy's for Carla too. Because otherwise they can fall behind and be a little frustrating to use in the last level. So I recommend babying them a little, and the reinforcements in this and the following chapter are good for that. They're really a chance for those two to just catch up a little, if you care to. So we're going to take a look at that next time.